Ajahn Jan, who was to become one of Luang Por's closest and most trusted disciples, arrived at the beginning of July 1960 after spending a number of years in a village monastery. The contrast was stark, and he felt jolted by a kind of culture shock. Being used to a more convivial atmosphere, he interpreted the reserve of Wat Pah Pong monks as coldness and arrogance. This was apparently confirmed on his first full day, when clearing of the site for a new kuti. None of the monks seemed interested in helping with the work. Me, I didn't know about the Vinaya rule forbidding monks from digging the earth, and I just got stuck in. I dug holes, put in the posts, and cut down the vines to bind things up. It was by no means the only Vinaya rule of which he was ignorant. He had come to the monastery with a few spare sets of robes and a stock of tinned milk and Ovaltine. He soon discovered that at Wat Pah Pong, the rule forbidding more than one set of the 3 robes was strictly observed, and that milk and Ovaltine were considered to be foodstuffs and could only be consumed at the mealtime. There was so much he didn't know. It was a steep learning curve. When he tested my faith and respect, and he saw that I had confidence in him, he began to teach me. Luang Por said I had to throw away any spells, mantric formulas, or empowered medallions I might have collected. He would teach me afresh. Right or wrong, I should just follow him for the time being and then discuss it later. I'd been ordained for 6 years and I'd never meditated. The things I'd been doing before, the building work, bricklaying, carpentry, cement work, he had me put aside altogether. He taught me how to practice sitting and walking meditation. He taught me how to rest the breath, establish mindfulness. I was utterly determined to do well, and I did everything he told me. Just prior to the beginning of the annual rains retreat, Luang Por told Ajahn Jan that he was ready to be accepted into the Sangha. First, however, most of his belongings would need to be replaced. Monks commit offences against the Vinaya both in accepting money and spending it. Any item purchased by a monk is considered impure and liable to forfeiture. Most of Ajahn Jan's possessions fell into this category. Luang Por told Ajahn Tiang to go through my requisites and see what was unallowable, so that my sīla could be purified in the midst of the Sangha. It turned out that by the end of the inspection, all I had left was one thin lower robe. Everything else I'd bought myself and was in breach of the Nisagiyapacittiya training rules. The inspection was very thorough. Even though some of the items had been properly offered by lay people, they were declared impure, incorrect by the Vinaya, because I'd bought the detergent that I'd washed them in. He had me send everything I relinquished back to my old monastery. Ajahn Tiang gave me a new set of robes. They were dark-coloured meditation monk's robes, patched in a number of places. Luang Por said, "Don't worry about requisites. If your sīla is pure, they will appear by themselves." After that, he made an announcement to the Sangha, and then had me formally determine the cloth, put the robes on, and confess my offences. I didn't know how to confess offences in the Forest Sangha way, and had to repeat the words after him. After the Sangha had accepted me, Luang Por gave a talk. He talked about the various kinds of virtue and the dirt and impurity that the Sangha had kindly cleansed me of. He said that I mustn't forget that debt of gratitude, that I must remember it for all of my life. I cried.